directed by Stephen Gaghan. It stars Robert Downey Jr., known as Dr. John Dolittle, a man who knows how to talk and communicate to animals. Until when the love of his life gets stranded, lost at sea, and decided not to help any, and he decided not to help any people or other animals anymore. And until two children end up on his doorstep, and he embarks on his journey with a bunch of animals. And I heard Doolittle was a bad movie. It was horrible. This movie came out like last week. Yeah, this movie came out last weekend. Yeah, this movie came out last weekend. When I watched this movie, I was just like, huh, this movie's bad. This movie, yeah, this movie came out last weekend on on the 17th, which was Friday. Um, so this movie, I heard this movie was bad. I watched it and it was terrible. I knew this movie was gonna get bad reviews, and when I saw the trailer for this movie, I was just like, I think this movie's gonna get bad reviews. So I bet it will get bad reviews. And yep, this movie is terrible. This movie has a bad. This movie's not having any good masterpiece anything. This movie is bad. But I have to tell you guys this. Robert Downey Jr., I felt really bad for him in this movie, but he's bad in this movie. I'm not saying it to be mean. I'm saying it because I don't blame him to join the film. I just don't understand why Universal have had him to join this film, having himself talk in a deep voice like this. We have no choice to We have no choice to embark on this perilous journey. And I'm thinking, why do you talk like that? Like, speak up. Talk normal. This movie is terrible, but Robert Downey Jr., I felt really bad for him. That's why I love this movie, is because I'm giving this guy some support. Because Robert Downey Jr., it's because he's just like, you know what, since I'm done with the MCU, I can do whatever I want. It's because you're done with the MCU. That doesn't mean you can play whatever movies you want. Sometimes I get jealous of Robert Downey Jr. playing in some other movies sometimes. I like him playing Iron Man. I liked him playing Iron Man. I liked him playing Sherlock Holmes. He's really good as those characters. But this character as Dr. Dolittle is just making him feel embarrassed. This character is making him feel embarrassed in front of his fans, which probably makes him feel a little bit worried. Um, Antonio Banderas is terrible in this movie as well. Antonio Banderas sounds like Puss in Boots as his character from Shrek. He sounds like Puss in Boots in the entire, well, in this film. But I think he feels really feels stupid in this movie. I like Antonio Banderas. It's just that I just feel like this movie embarrassed him and Robert Downey Jr. in this film. Yeah, I feel bad for Antonio Banderas. I feel bad for Robert Downey Jr. It's because this movie is feeling like they're embarrassed by this film. The two children in this movie are okay. They're fine in this movie. I ain't gonna say bad about them. They're okay. And Dr. Doolittle's trying to get this young boy to be his apprentice. He's just like, you're my apprentice now. I'm Dr. Doolittle, and I like to talk to animals like bugs and insects and elephants and dogs and cats or whatever. Y'all gonna hear me out. He's just don't understand. That's why Robert Downey Jr. was feeling embarrassed by this movie. And the villain in this film is just not good. The movie is failed. This movie, it has a bunch of fails. Comedy, action, adventure, CGI failed. All of that failed. Everything in this movie has failed except for the screenshots of this movie of the sky and the sea and the bunch of the animals. The animals in this film are okay. Now we got Tom Holland voicing a dog that has Harry Potter glasses on for no reason at all. Dogs don't wear glasses. The dog in this film is feeling embarrassed. Tom Holland's really good in this movie, but I feel like his character is feeling embarrassed because he's wearing Harry Potter glasses. John Cena, who plays this polar bear who wears a winter hat in this movie, is kind of like an embarrassment. Mostly these animal characters are not really are not really well done because of the CGI. The CGI is not really complete with this movie. I feel like the CGI creators had done really terrible with the characters of this movie because this movie looks like a straight animated film full of animals. Selena Gomez as this giraffe is okay. I like Selena Gomez. You know, she's my childhood actress. I don't put the blame on her at all. John Cena, I don't blame him. Tom Holland, I don't blame him. Rami, Malek, I don't blame him either. They're really good in this film, including Craig Robinson. I feel like these people who play the animals are embarrassed. These actors, the actors in this film, the actresses in this movie are embarrassed by this film. Universal could have left this movie alone. I just didn't even know they were gonna make another Doctor Dolittle. But I feel like this is a reboot from the, well, not really the reboot of the Eddie Murphy Doctor Dolittle movies. Um, those movies were fine, but this one is just, it's just terrible. I think the Eddie Murphy Doctor Dolittle movies are probably a lot worse than this Robert Downey Jr. Dolittle film. Dolittle is a terrible movie. Um, the villain who's played by Ralph Fiennes, I guess, who's really bad in this movie. He plays Barry in the film. He's terrible. I'm not gonna take nothing away. I bet the adults are gonna hate this movie because they're just like, I can't believe they got Tony Stark, known as Iron Man, talking to animals. And the kids, I think the kids are gonna enjoy this movie if you guys know anything about animals like Bendy Irwin does. Bendy Irwin and her family, you know, she knows a lot about animals. I think she'll love this movie, and I know most people that loves animals or knows discover and learn things about animals probably gonna love this movie. And I love animal movies. I'm a huge animal movie person. Like this movie. This is my favorite movie, but this movie is just terrible because I feel like Robert Downey Jr. is a likable actor. You know, he's a likable actor. Antonio Banderas is a likable actor to me. It's because they're my childhood actors. Like Robert Downey Jr. was Iron Man. Um, Antonio Banderas was on Spy Kids and the Shrek films. They're both my favorite actors, but this movie has feel like they're embarrassed by this movie. The tiger in this movie looks like the tiger from the Jungle Book. I forgot the tiger's name from the Jungle Book though. I just haven't watched the Jungle Book in a long time. Um, but yeah, this movie is just bad. I feel bad. The CGI is not done. This movie failed as an action movie, an adventure, a comedy, everything. It fails. This movie is a failure. And this movie was a complete disaster and an embarrassment. PG film. I understand this movie's made for kids, but could you imagine if a child walks out of this movie and say, "I can't believe they got Iron Man talking to animals. I can't believe they got Puss in Boots acting like the bad guy out of nowhere has a pet tiger from the Jungle Book," which is I just don't understand. This movie does not make me understand what's just happened in this film. This movie is just dumb and stupid enough to make me feel like I'm embarrassed by this film. I bet the kids are gonna love this movie, but I think some of the kids are gonna like this movie, but the adults just gonna be like, this movie's bad. This movie is, I can't believe they put Iron Man in this movie, or Sherlock Holmes, I shall say, in this movie. This is weird. I feel like Robert Downey Jr. sounds like Sherlock Holmes in this movie because of the way his voice turned out as deeper. I felt really bad for Robert Downey Jr. I still like this movie. The only thing I like about this movie is Robert Downey Jr. is because I'm trying to support this guy of how embarrassed that he was by this movie. If it wasn't for Universal in this director, Universal Pictures, if it wasn't for Universal Pictures or this director, this movie would have been made. Because I understand Robert Downey Jr. is done with the MCU, but that doesn't mean he can play in like any other movies and do whatever he wants. And I understand he loves playing all these movies. Like Tropic Thunder was one of my favorite best films that he played in that I enjoyed. He did a really good job in. Robert Downey Jr. is what I'm talking about. But yeah, I do feel bad for Robert Downey Jr. and Antonio Banderas and some other characters that's voiced by these actors like Emma Thompson, Selena Gomez, Craig Robinson, um, Rami Malek, is that his name? I guess. I don't know. they're embarrassed, and John Cena is embarrassed by this movie as well. But that's all I gotta say about this movie review. Yeah, this movie could have done a better job, or this movie could have, or Universal could have left this movie alone. I think this movie could have left this movie alone. Is because this movie is an embarrassment, and this movie's not taking itself seriously, telling the kids about other animals, and it's not taking its time to slow down to talk about the animals, talking about Doctor Dolittle of how he talks to animals, and it's not telling him, it's not telling, well, I don't know what's going on with this movie. I just don't understand what this movie is capable of. Why this movie is an embarrassment and too much of a disaster. Yeah, this is a disaster film full of amazing actors that I love in this movie that are embarrassed by this film. It's too much. But that's all I got to say about this movie review for Doolittle. I hope they don't make a sequel. Robert Downey Jr. will probably do better in some other movies without doing a deep voice. I'm Robert Downey Jr. and I play Doctor Doolittle. Yeah, I hope you don't ever do that again unless you're Sherlock Holmes. But yeah, talk normal, bro. Yeah, talk normal next time. But that's all I gotta say about this movie review. I'm gonna give this movie some support because of Robert Downey Jr. is being embarrassed by this movie. That's all I gotta say about this movie review for right now. So be sure to like and subscribe, press the notification button, follow me on Instagram, comment down below, and I'll see you on my next video. Thanks for watching.